What's the expectation? What's the standard of, hey, you are a contender? 8 wins could be enough to make a wild card appearance in the NFC this year. If everything goes right, they win 7 games this year. They win 10 in 2023. They win 12 or 13 in 2024, and they win the division. Only by 2025 will you be actually considered as contenders. Today, I did want to discuss what the timeline for quote-unquote contender status is for the Detroit Lions. Now, what's the definition of a contender? The team that's expected to compete at least or win their division, right? Start there. A team that's expected to win the division, or if they're in a very good division, at least compete, right? Definition of a contender, a team that minimum should win 1 playoff game. A team that's expected to get to the conference championship in their respective conference. That's a contender. When do the Lions become that? Well, it's not this year. That I can guarantee you. That contender status will not be here. Will it be there in 2023? I don't think so. Even if they win 9, 10 games, to be a contender, you need to do it on the biggest stage. It comes with tenure. It comes with not only winning 10 games one year, but following that up with a 12-win season. See, 2024 even. 2022, they win 8 games, let's say, which is this year. 2023, they win 11. They're still not contenders. 2024, they win 12. Let's say 11, 12 games. They win the division. They win a playoff game. You know what the Lions are going into 2025? Legitimate contenders. I'm not talking about the team that you think is going to play well and they're going to make noise. No. I'm talking about Buffalo Bills status. Hey, that's a team that's going to be contending for the AFC title. Oh, Kansas City Chiefs, contending. Oh, the Rams, they're contenders. Bucks, yep, Brady, contenders. History, yep, contenders. Oh, those teams matter. Oh, they have a defense, they have a coach? Oh, yeah, they're contenders. I'll buy in. That's what happens. And I think it's 2025. I think you would see the Lions going into a season where they're talked about as a contender. That's the timeline. That doesn't mean that you can't win a division before then. That doesn't mean you can't win a playoff game or multiple. What it means is, given your current trajectory, if like I say, I think 7, 8 wins likely the case. If you win more, nobody would be happier than me, but that's just my prediction. I think they're a 7, 8 win team. I think they're going to be one of the more improved teams in the NFL. You go into next year with not the expectation, we may have it, but the general consensus is nobody looks at the Detroit Lions in 2023 after this year and says they should be going to the NFC title game. Now, let's say the Lions take that next step and they win the division in 2023, but they lose in the divisional round. Or they win, let's say they win a playoff game and they get to the divisional round. And dare I say, they lose that game. They don't go to the NFC Championship, whatever. Well, they made noise. So maybe by 2024, you could have that contender status. But that is such a big if, which is why I'm thinking 2025. And the only way it happens by 2024 is if you win the division, you win a playoff game, you host a playoff game. See, getting to the wild card isn't an accomplishment when you're not hosting a home game. A playoff game. You know why? It doesn't mean anything. The wild card is set up for the home team to win. You don't believe me? Go look at its history. Home teams are meant to win in the wild card. That is just how it plays out. So if you're a wild card team, now you could be a very good wild card team. Let's not forget that. Right? You could be a very good wild card team, given your division is very good. But if you are a 12-win team and the team in your division is 9-8, well, what the rip does that matter? You're not in a great division. You're just average. All right, fine. No worries. But if you're a 12-5 Detroit Lions team, let's say in 2023, and you're playing the 11-6, or dare I say 12-5 New Orleans Saints, or Arizona Cardinals, or any of these NFC teams, oh, well, that's a tough matchup. That's a hard game. So there's always context you can bring into it. But at the end of the day, for me, Maddie, 2025. I think that's realistic. If Dan Campbell is a perennial top 10, top 8 head coach, we're talking 2024. But, these are a lot of what ifs. But I did want to bring it out there. I don't think it's been talked about. What's the expectation? What's the standard of, hey, you are a contender? When do you get that status? It comes with tenure. It comes with, you got to prove it. You got to have multiple double-digit win seasons. You have to have a division title under your belt. You have to win a playoff game. You have to do all that just to be considered a contender. Going 11-6 last year doesn't mean you're a contender this season. Not the Lions. I'm talking any team around the NFL, unless they have a unique circumstance where they're in a stacked division. So, for example, the Raiders. Let's say the Raiders finished second in the division this year, but they were 11-6. Next year, everybody will be talking about the Raiders as contenders. Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Josh McDaniels, first winning season as a head coach, etc., etc., etc. There are circumstances, but for the Lions, I don't think anybody sees this division becoming the AFC West. If anything, the Vikings, in my opinion, are the favorite to win the division. I think the Packers take a step back. They may be a wild card team. I think 9-10 wins. I think the Vikings win the division with 11 games. And then I have the Lions sitting there at 7-8 wins. And who knows? 8 wins, honest to God. 8 wins could be enough to make a wild card appearance in the NFC this year. That's just how bad it is. So watch out for the Lions, I think, to improve more than most teams around the league. If I had to pick a team in the AFC, I would say the New York Jets, but they're so young. And that's even the same thing with the Lions. They're so young, but it's a lot of talent. And if you're the Jets, you want to see Zach Wilson take that next step too, right? So, Lions fans, that's what I have for you this morning. Contender status, where you are regarded as one of the better teams in the NFC that should be fighting for an NFC title appearance, I think that happens by 2025. And that happens if everything goes right. That's the crazy thing. If everything goes right, they win 7 games this year, they win 10 in 2023, they win 12 or 13 in 2024, and they win the division. Only by 2025 will you be actually considered as contenders.